Hello everybody and welcome back to another MB Zoomer video. As you may be able to see here, I have copped myself a slightly used Fox 40 fork. Just a quick update on sort of the history behind this fork deal. There's an extreme supply chain shortage of forks that are compatible with the Sur-Ron right now. So to my knowledge, you can still get an RST Kilofork, but pretty much anything besides that is going to be extremely hard to find. So your options are pretty limited as far as new forks go. You cannot buy a new Marzocchi Bomber 58, nor can you buy a new Fox 40 fork from any reputable vendors at the moment, to the best of my knowledge. So that leaves us in a little bit of an interesting situation. I got tired of waiting for pre-orders, having those pre-orders delayed. Marzocchi listed the Bomber 58 on their website for sale, so I bought it. I paid them, $1,000+ for it, and then they told me, "Oops, glitch in our website. You're gonna have to wait another 4 months at least." So I'm not having it. I'm done with it. So what I did was I went and bought a used Fox 40 fork off of Pink Bike, very lightly used. It's got some dirt and a couple scratches on it, but no big deal. That's just the reality of the situation right now. You're kind of going to be stuck buying used forks for the most part. And buying used forks for the Sur-Ron, you'll run into a common issue, that being the steerer tube is not long enough. So I believe you need, at a very minimum, using a direct mount stem, you need 180 millimeters of steerer tube there. Now let me grab my ruler. This one is 165 millimeters. So that's not going to work for my Sur-Ron. It won't fit. This is the issue you're going to run into shopping for used forks for the Sur-Ron. So I would not recommend buying a fork if it has less than 200 millimeters of steerer tube on here. If you want just a plug and play kind of thing. Most mountain bikes, most forks that were installed on mountain bikes previously are going to be cut shorter than you need it for the Sur-Ron. So what's the workaround for this? Luckily, Risse Racing, they offer a aftermarket steer tube crown assembly for the Fox 40 fork. So this, maybe it's compatible with the Marzocchi Bomber, I don't know, but they market it for the Fox 40 fork, so that's what I would recommend getting if you want to do this. Basically, the idea is we're going to take this steer tube off and replace it with the new one. The new one, as you can see, much longer. It came 250 millimeters, which is going to be good enough for your Sur-Ron. You're actually going to have to cut it down for the Sur-Ron. So, pretty easy replacement. This top crown is going to come off, and then you're going to have to loosen these bolts here. So these are 5mm bolts. All you need is a socket wrench. Loosen them up. You're also going to have to take these rubber bits off. Be careful, I guess. It looks like the stanchions will turn freely. Not a huge concern, but you don't want to mess up anything. You definitely don't want to pull the stanchions out on accident. You're going to want to be very careful doing this. But it will slide right off. You just want to make sure you're not pulling the stanchions out of the lowers here. So it took a little bit of finagling. The main thing, you need to be really careful that you don't pull the stanchions out. You're going to have a bad day if that happens. So just be very cautious of that. But this lower crown should wiggle off. I'm going to take the stanchions and push them back in where they were. They're going to be quite unstable without the crown on. And then all you got to do from there is take your new crown, make sure it's in the proper orientation since it is not symmetrical. You want the bolts to be on the same side as when you pulled the old, as how you pulled the old one off. And then you're just going to press it back on, ideally from the top down. So I'm going to do that real quick and we'll get back to you. Alright, so we got our new crown back on. I'm going to leave it somewhat unfinished right now because our final adjustments are going to happen when we get the fork on the bike. Then we're going to really hone this in where we want it to be. The goal is to have this as high as possible. The Sur-Ron's a large bike compared to the type of mountain bike that the Fox 40 is designed for. So we're going to sort of adjust it as needed, but the idea is this upper crown will fit right on. And we want the upper crown to be at the very top here of, holding on to both of these, of course, but at the very max part right there. So we can get the most out of the length of our Fox 40 fork. So just a real quick video on how to sort of repurpose a used Fox 40 fork that a mountain biker has butchered. I'm just kidding with that, but it's not the same as it was, and it's useless for the Sur-Ron with this crown on it. So you can get yourself a new one. This crown comes from Risse Racing, and it costs $150. So I highly recommend. It can be the difference between having no used options and having a lot of used options. So you can find Fox 40s for, I've seen them between $1,000 and $1,500 on used markets like Pink Bike and eBay. So if that's something that's interesting to you and you've had an issue finding forks for your Sur-Ron, this I believe is a pretty good solution. Obviously I haven't tested it out on the bike yet, but from the looks of it, this crown is a lot better than the stock one, and it fits flawlessly. So I highly recommend this option if you are limited to used options like I was. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to MB Zoomer. Don't forget to leave a like on this video and comment as many times as you possibly can. Thank you very much and have a wonderful day.